for joining. I will keep my part extremely short because we have more important things to discuss. And I encourage you to use this great opportunity of asking your questions about study programs being presented today, as all of these wonderful people are joining to share with you the program details and also invite to you to their study courses. So I really hope that you have you are all well prepared because you received also invitation emails with program descriptions. You also had some links to courses, but in case you missed that, I will be also sharing some links in chat. And just to briefly mention how we will proceed today is that feel free to use a Q&A box if you are using Zoom first time, but I'm sure in this era, everybody's very well aware of Zoom. So feel free to send your questions in Q&A. There is no limit. The Q&A is open, and our dear guests will be also trying to catch up with you in written form if they like, or we will be voicing the questions also live during our Q&A part. Also, feel free to check the chat. As I have mentioned, I will be sharing some links there. And also, in case our guests want to share with you some extra information, they will be using chat for these purposes. Now, let me share my screen for a few minutes just to show you or remind you the title, which I'm sure you are well aware. And then right away, without further ado, I would like to give this virtual mic to our very first speaker, who is 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘴, and he will be talking about Master in Arts program in International Media Cultural Work. On the right side of the slide, you can see your future university or potential future university. And on the left side, you can see some highlights of the study program as a deadline, number of credit points, language requirements, and tuition. So I will stop my screen share, mute myself, and hand over to Klaus then.
Okay, hello. Thanks for being here. My name is 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘴. I am the main lecturer of the Master's Program International Media Cultural Work at Darmstadt University of Applied Sciences. And yeah, I will quickly present the program. It has the term work in its title, and that's what we also do. But to that, I come later. So this program is right for you if you're interested in digital culture, art, and technology, or if you want to become an innovative leader in this field. Meaning, we are always towards culture, art, with the use of media technology. So it's not that you learn the best way how to market a phone, a car, or whatever, but to work within and to the culture for the society. You learn about concepts for developing audiences, understand media deeply, grasp it, touch it, and work with it critically and creatively. So if you want to be or have the intention to dive a bit more into media arts, do media arts, you are also right in our field. Also, a huge part of our program is an educational approach. So what are media pedagogical, media educational methods that can be applied in education institutions, pedagogical institutions, and so on. These are some main fields that we study or that you study that are taught in our program, which is the concept of media as education. It's a very artistic approach towards how to learn about media and how to learn with media. We always follow the concept of media ecology. This term came up during the 70s, first by Marshall McLuhan and then further by Neil Postman. And of course, it's taken further on as well. Immersive media, meaning the next 2 points, which is full dome and 360-degree cinema. So we have an inflatable full dome tent in our study program. It's a dome, and you produce artistic films for the full dome format. Audience development, that is a concept coming from the UK. It is about developing an audience for a cultural institution. 3D audio, also a very unique hands-on topic that we teach. We have a very unique 3D audio studio with 64 speakers. It uses a system that is coming from the wave field synthesis from Fraunhofer Institute, which is called spatial sound wave system. As I and our program director, Professor 𝘱𝘢𝘕𝘄𝑔𝘅𝑒𝑛𝑒𝑟, are both coming from a sound background. This is one of our main fields, composing with sound, not only with music, in a 3D environment. Of course, also augmented, mixed, and virtual reality, and I think, as everyone almost, artificial intelligence. The structure of the program depends on what you did before. If you had a 7th semester bachelor from Germany with an internship included, you study 3 semesters. That means you have semester 1 and 2 with our main project, which is the TMCP, the Transdisciplinary Media Culture Project. This is during the summer, curating, organizing, managing and implementing a media art exhibition in a museum. And in winter, it is media art workshops on the marketplace of the little town of 𝘱𝘓𝘕burg, where our media campus is based in. And then you can choose 3 electives from around 10 that are offered. The width, it's always around 20 people that come each semester. This time we had a super huge batch. I think 33 new students came from 23 different countries from all over the world, which is super nice. And yeah, we started already and we find our ways to come together. If you come from another country, you study 4 semesters, same structure as the others, but in the 3rd semester, you have to do an industrial placement or internship. And then in your 4th or 3rd semester, you do your master thesis. This is a little excerpt of what module titles are offered. Under these module titles, electives, they are a bit variable, so they change a bit. It's about media culture and technology, cultural strategies, bringing media theory and discourse to practice, media as education lab, interculturality and inclusion in media cultural work, avant-garde in digital media, and so on and so on. Even a law elective. So we have a lawyer who is specialized in the field of media and culture, who gives an elective every winter semester. Important to know is that the program is half practice and half theory. So you actually have to do something practical. So you really come into producing media projects. Then the best thing is that, as I said, we work with real people and with real institutions. So what you do most of the time really happens and the public can see it. Each semester, we have a media art exhibition. The media art exhibition this time happens for the 10th time. So we have a little anniversary, which, we really like. City of 𝘱𝘱𝑒𝑏urg always cooperates with us. Then successes of the students. When you do things, when you produce things, you of course hand them into festivals or conferences. What we are always part of is the International Full Dome Festival in Jena. I don't know if you have ever been to Jena, but Jena is the city of Zeiss, and they have built a huge planetarium And in this planetarium, there's also a system that plays 3D audio and full dome movies. And we produce films for full dome and hand these in. And many students won awards there already. Then we have the Nachwuchspreis Medienkultur der Stadt Dieburg. Every semester when we have our exhibition, the best art pieces of the exhibition are awarded and the makers get a bit of money. And what we also do is we participate in festivals all around Germany, but also Europe. And we always participate at the Next Generation Festival at the 𝘗𝘗𝘓𝘕 in Karlsruhe. Okay. So we don't only teach and educate, we also do research on the topics that we educate on, and 3D and VR audio, 360-degree full dome movies. I think we were pretty early with implementing these and working on this with a very artistic approach. I remember very well when we were for the first times at the Full Dome Festival in Jena. We really had a very different approach than other universities or other producers for the full dome film. And now, as AI also comes into play more and more, we of course try to make the connections, but also critically, how does AI influence our media producing artistically? For example, last semester we had a thesis, and the thesis was about AI as a muse and a co-creator in media art. And yeah, more and more we try to embed this also for live manipulating 3D audio or the full dome film. Then, as I said, media aesthetic education. To go deeper, this would mean I would need to have a lecture. Soundscape studies is also a field that we highly focus on. Professor Sabine Breitsameter also published a book very recently about soundscape studies, which is a translation of the book of Murray Schafer, The Tuning of the World, but also put into contemporary times. Then we have different partners and conferences. We twice implemented the conference, the Global Composition, here in Dieburg on our campus. Then we cooperate with the 𝘗𝘗𝘓 Karlsruhe, Hessischer Rundfunk, Ars Electronica, Full Dome Festival in Jena, the city of Dieburg, also a little non-profit organization, which is a hiking club here in this area, the Odenwald Club. So we try to bring digitization to non-profit organizations in Germany, which have a rather old structure and a very traditional structure. Sony Music, the Ministry for Social and Integration, and of course the Ministry for Art and Science. Yeah, we have a video about our labs and studios. I don't want to show the whole video to you, but at least a little insight. I think in the beginning you see our inflatable full dome tent. Now we go inside the tent. And this is how a full dome movie looks from the inside. Now I skip a bit. This is our beautiful campus, a recording studio, a radio studio, a surround sound studio for film sound, and again, the full dome film. Yeah, I just see the question if this course is NC or if you need, for the admission. You apply with a little motivational letter, a scientific expose about a project that you would like to implement. Needs to be also a bit artistic and practical. And of course, a media background helps, but we also had students studying ship management before, and they turned out to be very, very well in curating exhibitions. So it's more about your motivation and how you approach our program than about your actual background. And of course, it is good if you can use a computer, a phone, a camera, and so on. But I think everyone is kind of capable of doing this or learning it very quickly. And we also, of course, guide you in learning new technologies. Here are some master thesis examples, which you can also find on our website. So as you can see, it's very different approaches towards media and different topics. Some are very artistic, some are more industry oriented, but still have this artistic approach. The first one, for example, is a critical art project, which was a projection mapping about unboxing videos. Of course, this is towards our consume and these unboxing videos on YouTube. The next one, digital female empowerment, was a project that was done in a big consultancy, Accenture, and it was to upskill, reskill young women through creative coding. And that student also got a job afterwards for just doing this and so on. Here, this answer is the question also. Who can study IMC? Basically everyone, I gotta say, because it's really about the motivation. Also, if you have studied economics, for example, but were a creative person besides studying economy, you're of course also welcome in our program. Journalists, technology enthusiasts, management expert, research networkers, and so on from all over the world. What are the perspectives? Of course, that's also very interesting for you as a student. Of course, it's a master. So it's not that it's a very basic graduation that you have afterwards. You can get executive positions in cultural institutions as cultural manager, dramaturg, cultural editor, art educators. You can be an artist or independent freelance worker afterwards, or you can go for an academic career afterwards. Some of our students work in museums afterwards, in the museum's pedagogy or as curators, for example, at the ZKM in Karlsruhe or at Kulturstiftung des Bundes. Then we have some people who are more into coding, actually. So coding also plays a role. And one student now works in an agency that is specialized on programming websites for museums. So the transition between the physical museum to the virtual space as well. And some people also became teachers for art and their mother tongue, because we are international. So if you speak Spanish, that's very helpful to become a teacher as well. And this is us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Klaus, for the presentation, all the insights. Dear attendees, you will also have a chance to have a closer look of the presentation on Monday when you receive a follow-up email with the slides, with my slides as well, and all these emails and everything will be there. And also you can rewatch the very interesting video. So thank you very much. Now I would like to introduce to you our second guest. That is Professor Christoph Zielke, and then he will talk about bachelor's level program in information and communication design. And I saw, dear attendees, your questions that you sent in advance, lots of questions about how to apply directly with our Studienkolleg. I don't know if the professor will approach this point, but if not, then I promise we will discuss it in the Q&A later. So, Professor, the floor is yours. I'm muting and disappearing.
Welcome, everybody. So I would like to present you our Bachelor Information Communication Design. So it's a design study program. It's a practical study program. There are two people in the chat of this program, my colleague, Ms. Katrin Schubert, and my name is Christoph Zielke. So 75% of our degree programs, so of the whole university, are taught in English, and there are 6,400 students from 120 nations. So it's a very international university, and we are proud of that. To give you an idea where we are, so this is where our university is. It's in a city called 𝘗𝘢𝘕𝘓, which is a small town. So if you want to party hard, you might check out Düsseldorf, 40 kilometers away, or Cologne, 80 kilometers away. And this is where we are located in Germany and next to the Netherlands. So Amsterdam, I think 3 hours with the car. Some impressions from our campus, from student life on campus. Of course, we have a lot of facilities, printing facilities, photography studio. We are very proud of our Fab Lab, so high-tech facilities with 3D printers and a lot of more stuff where you could produce three-dimensional objects. Of course, exhibition matters in design, and it's fun, and yeah. So in a nutshell, communication designers create and use text, typefaces, and other means of communication with the aim of making things understandable, making things usable, and making them attractive. These are all modules, our curriculum. So the purple area are all the practical design modules. So you get a certain assignment, a task, and then you will produce something in dialogue with the lecturer. The turquoise area, so the bluish green. So the darker part is related to craft. So starting with design software, for example, workshop bookbinding, but of course, digital things as well, like creative coding in the third semester and so on. And on the bottom side, you see the theory classes. So it gives you a good idea how important the practical classes are, 2/3 of the whole study program. I think the best way to explain what we do is to show you work of students. So starting in the first semester, so this might something you might do in the first semester. Here the task was to design a cover for your favorite book. Posters are done here, welcoming several guests, different guests of honor for the biggest book fair in the world, Frankfurt Buchmesse. Posters for a sober bar, a bar without alcohol. So you get assignments like this, and students design poster. These are from the second semester, so in the beginning of the study program. And later you do more complex things. This is a magazine about humanoid robots. Very well done magazine by a student with a lot of different materials and masterful design typography. A book about volcanoes. I will not explain a lot about each project because I need hours. Just to give you a quick overview. This is a book about depression, and here the students giving us an idea about their personal experience with subjective illustration, but objective information as well, and this little information graphics. Of course, you will not hear any presentation without AI. This had been done in the last summer semester when text-to-image generators had been still quite new, like Midjourney, and here the student, Valeria, made a work related to dreams, 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘳𝘵, and tried to realize her vision, which was quite tricky to get the results you want. This student used ChatGPT to develop ideas for typefaces. So he trained ChatGPT in a certain way to give him ideas how typefaces might look, to describe them. So the AI did not design them, but they developed ideas how the typeface looked like. It was a very clever process how he trained ChatGPT. Example of identity design. This is the logo and identity design of a city nearby. So a cross-media design concept. This was a competition. Each student made one proposal, and then there had been a winner. And so the winner in the first place is now the actual logo of this city. And of course, the winners had been paid. So I will not promise you that you will get paid to study, but if you win a competition, you might. And we like to do projects that cross a border between communication design and product design. So this is an object that is both lamp and there's a certain scent. So it smells in a nice way. You put it on a table and the student designs the object and the logo and the typography concepts, the packaging, and so on. So to think about all aspects of something like that. And we do this, we like to do things like that very much. So this was a device that enables people who are deaf or hard hearing to enjoy music in a certain way through vibration. Creativity game for architects, a stool system, and finally, of course, I mentioned digital media matters, and this was interactive application about the preservation of nature. We are proud that our students had been successful in competition, winning prestigious awards like Red Dot or Art Directors Club. So this is an advertising partner. More information you find here. I did not mention yet, so I think it's obvious this program is about educating practical designers. So you will be a designer, which means you might work in a design agency or design department in-house in a company. A lot of designers are self-employed as well. And there is a portfolio assessment to enter the study program. So you have to hand in practical work, but there's a lot to say about that. We will give you some advices about that online in a few weeks. I don't know the exact date. I hope Katrin will write it in the chat. Otherwise, please look on our website. So then we give you more information about the whole application process, but I need 20 minutes for that, so I will not go into details here. Thank you very much.
From Fulda University of Applied Sciences, 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘳𝘵, who will talk about another master's level program, Intercultural Communication and European Studies. And as always, you can locate yourself on a map. You can also see some quick facts of the program on the left side of the slide. So now I will stop screen share and then hand over to 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘳𝘵.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘪𝘯𝘨 from Fulda University of Applied Sciences. I'm Program Coordinator of the International Masters Program in Intercultural Communication and European Studies at the Department of Social and Cultural Sciences. I will share my screen with you. Just a minute. Our program is a little bit different from what has been introduced by the other university representatives. Our program, as I said, is named Intercultural Communication and European Studies. So there is communication in it, but it's not that art and design oriented. It's social sciences oriented. It's social science based. The program is highly interdisciplinary, but you will find out that it's different from what we have seen before. So you can see, I hope you can see a map. Use the full presentation then. So you can see Germany here, and Fulda is right in the center of Germany. Actually, it's not a very famous place. It's located between Frankfurt and Hanover. It's a relatively small city with about 70,000 inhabitants and about 8,700 students. So it's a rather small university town, but that has a couple of advantages, I guess, especially if you come as an international student. And in a master program, you will be there for about 2 years. And well, it's easy to get to know the university, the campus, the town, and it's easy to make friends because the classes are small, etc. So the ICAOS program was developed 25 years ago in 1999 in the light of globalization, EU enlargement, and increasing internationalization of all areas of society. In the beginning, it was funded by the German Academic Exchange Service and by the Jean Monnet program of the European Union. And although it's now already 25 years old, as you can see from these aspects and these reasons for introduction and implementation, like globalization and EU enlargement and internationalization, it's still very up to date, and it has been updated, of course, by various new and innovative topics, but it's a very important aspect of our life, society, and of work that you that many people are working in an intercultural environment, international environment, and are involved in different aspects of international communication and international cooperation. There's a small, short profile here of the program. So it's a master program. It's offered at the Department of Social and Cultural Sciences. I said this earlier. It lasts 4 semesters or 2 years, and it is taught both in German and English. So about 50% or maybe a little bit more, maybe 60% of the classes are taught in English and the other classes are taught in German. So that's why students need to be bilingual. They need solid skills in both languages. It comprises various interdisciplinary classes in social sciences, in politics, law, especially international and European law, in communication, interculturality, and media. It comprises also an internship abroad, 10 weeks compulsory internship after the 2nd semester, and that needs to take place outside the student's home country. That means that German students go abroad and international students can choose whether they do it in Germany or in some third country. The program is fully accredited, and since 2016, our university, although it's a University of Applied Sciences, is entitled to run its own PhD programs, and we have a PhD program in social sciences with a focus on globalization, European integration, and interculturality. That means that our graduates from the master's program can continue their academic qualification within the university and apply for a PhD program. A pre-study program of 1 or 2 semesters is available for students who need to learn German or brush up their German skills in order to be able to follow classes. These are the modules that are offered in this program. I won't read them all, but you can see that the program is really interdisciplinary. It has these 2 pillars like intercultural communication and European studies. And that means that there are classes in the fields of communication, theory of communication, media and media use, culture and media. But there are also classes in European politics, international politics, and European law, in international organizations, globalization, etc. We also offer a social sciences methodology module because we have many applicants from the field of humanities, languages, for example, who are not so familiar with the social sciences methods. So there's one module on methodology included as well. You can see here the internship module as well. And cross studies is a module that where you can choose classes from other programs or other departments even. So we have a modern university campus with about 8,700 students. So all the classes and lectures take place on this campus. You don't need to commute through the city or to other places. You have like everything assembled on one campus, including the library as well, the student services, and the student canteen. We are recruiting students from all over the world for this program. We usually have a take-in rate of about 30 students per year. And for example, in this current cohort, the students who are in the 2nd semester now, I think there are 16 different nationalities in a group of 27 students. So it's really a very, very diverse and international group. And in the beginning of the program, we do a couple of workshops in order to get to know each other better, in order to do some team building, so that for the students it's easier to work together and that they know each other, because many come to Germany for their first time, and some are the only representatives of their country in the program or at our department. So we do a lot of like getting to know each other and team building right in the beginning in order to make sure that the students find friends and build a team within this program. So we have a very familiar atmosphere in this program. The students know each other, they know us, we know the students, and I think that's what especially the international students appreciate a lot. I mentioned earlier the classes are bilingual, but that doesn't mean that all the classes are offered both in German and in English. It means that some of the classes are offered in German and other classes are offered in English. So you need to be really confident in both languages. Still, you can apply without a standardized test in, for example, German, and try to brush up your German skills in order to be ready at the beginning of the program. and you would get a deadline to submit at least a B2 level of German after the first semester. The program also includes field trips to Bad Liebenzell in the Black Forest, including a day trip to Strasbourg in France. And in the second semester, there's a trip to Brussels for 4 days. This is for the IKEA students in order to give them the chance to see the European institutions like the European Commission, the European Parliament, the Council of the EU, and to hear presentations from people there and to be able to discuss current topics in European politics with them. Then we have this internship abroad of 10 weeks that usually takes place after the second semester. So in summer after the second semester, the students find an internship within a company or an NGO, a think tank, a research institute, in media, or wherever. And so we start the third semester a little later in order to give the students enough time to do their internships. We also offer participation in MUN conferences. You may have heard of this. It's MUN stands for Model United Nations, and MUN conferences are a simulation of United Nations summits that focus on a specific topic, for example, migration or climate change also. And the students go into roles and prepare their roles. Usually they are prepared for one semester and one seminar, and they cooperate online with other students. And then an MUN conference is either organized in Fulda or the students are taken to another place. A couple of weeks back, Professor Wiesner and these 5 students, they had the chance to attend a MUN conference in New York. And this other picture shows an MUN conference that took place in Fulda 2 years ago. So requirements for the program: you need a bachelor in social sciences and cultural sciences, legal studies, or in humanities. So everything from politics, languages, media, business, etc. Would meet the requirements. You need German language skills and English language skills on level B2 or C1. That depends a little on your mother tongue, etc. It can be read on our website. Here are some examples for internship placements and career opportunities. So where do students do their internship and where do they work after graduation? See some examples of European institutions, national parliaments, international organizations like the United Nations, in embassies, in research, think tanks, NGOs or lobbying. But also many work in multinational companies like Lufthansa, Continental, Siemens, etc. For example, in the field of human resource development, in the field of international sales, in communication and marketing, etc. Some also work for ministries of their home countries or for consultancies, public policy consulting, or in the field of public relations and media. This might be something you could be interested in. And the field of global mobility management is something like an increasing labor market. So other programs that we offer at the department are human rights studies and politics, law and society, which is offered in English. That's taught entirely in English. We have social sciences for intercultural relations as a bachelor program that's also taught entirely in English. And we have 2 social law programs, a bachelor program and a master program, but these are taught in German. Life in Fulda. I mentioned earlier, Fulda is a small city with 70,000 inhabitants, and it's located in the center of Germany. It has a beautiful Baroque town center, and there's a big cathedral as well as a castle right in the center of town. These are the surroundings, or here you can see the cathedral of Fulda, and here are the Rhön Mountains, which are in the surroundings of Fulda. It's a very nice and area. It's a beautiful landscape. This is also an advantage that Fulda is a relatively safe city, so it's possible to be out at night even if you're there alone. So when I work late, I can go from campus to the station, which is a 20 minutes walk. And I really feel safe there. So that's also an advantage of a smaller town, I guess. Since it's in the center of Germany, it's also pretty easy to get around. There are pretty good train connections, and when you're enrolled, you're entitled to get a semester ticket that also includes the so-called Deutschland ticket, which is a ticket for regional trains all over Germany, which you can use with your enrollment. So here are my contact details. If you have any further questions, you're very welcome, of course, to get in touch later. Okay, thanks for your interest and for being here. And I get back to Nino.
Yeah, thank you very much for the presentation. Dear attendees, thank you very much for your questions. I am also I think I got frozen, or yeah. So anyways, I wanted to say thank you for the presentation, and thank you for sending so many questions. Your enthusiasm means a lot, and that we know that the webinars are beneficial for you as well. And before I introduce our last speaker for today, I would like to make a small announcement about another program which will not be presented today, unfortunately. This is Advanced Signal Processing and Communications Engineering, but do not worry, you will receive information about the study program via emails, and at the same time, you will still have a chance to listen to our great presenter in a different webinar, but I will let you know when and yeah, what will be the occasion or when the webinar will take place. If you want, you have a few seconds to make a screenshot of the slide right now to also take the note of the contact details. But if you don't manage to do it, then don't worry. As I mentioned, you will receive this information on Monday. And now I would like to then present our last but not least speaker for today, Professor Felix Gräber, who will talk about Master in Science program in Corporate Communication Management. As always, some brief facts about the program on the left and right side of the slide. Yeah, and then I would say enjoy listening to another very interesting presentation. I stop my screen share and invite Professor to take the floor.
Yeah, thank you very much for this introduction, and a very warm welcome to everyone in this session. I want to give you an overview on our master's program in corporate communication management, and want to start with the view on our campus, and want to explain before I get into the details, show you where you are studying if you're applying. Because you're not only studying in Pforzheim in the world-famous Black Forest region, but in the very heart of German industry. Major blue chip companies like Bosch, Mercedes, Bosch, or companies like Porsche are just around the corner. And you're studying at the ASCSB accredited business schools, which means that our business schools belongs to the 5% of the best business schools worldwide. The corporate communication management program on one slide with some technical details. It's a full-time master's program in 3 semesters, including your master's thesis and English B2 level is needed. And this program will equip you with the knowledge and skills needed to thrive in the field of corporate communication, which has three main pillars and three main disciplines in corporate communication management, which means internal communication and change management regarding the communication to employees, public relations, stakeholder communication, CSR communication, and the third pillar is marketing communication with a special focus on digital marketing and social media. And if you have any questions while I'm talking, I'm very glad that my colleague Vanessa is also with us, which will answer also some questions in the webinar chat. Here you see the way through our study program with the possibility also to attend courses at the whole program of the business school, which gives you the strong management insights and also, of course, the specialization here in our program, which means strategic communication, CSR, stakeholder communication, internal communication. And what we are very proud of is the innovation lab, where all our practical seminars and company projects, which we do with companies like Porsche, like BASF, which are very, very close to Pforzheim. You also have a view here into our practical projects, because our program has a strong theoretical fundament, which means theories in media and communication, but also applying this knowledge into practice with these company projects, but also in our innovation lab, where the students select their projects which they want to get a stronger competence and confidence in. And here is one of these, one of the results, a magazine produced by one of our students. And yeah, he's a strong patience about cars. And so you see this book as a result of Henry's book here on which yeah, has a fundament in design and photography and so on. So and what makes our practical focus also very strong are examples here in podcast production, or yeah, very practical applied projects here in this study program. We are what is a very high advantage of our AACSB accreditation is that we belong to a network of the best business schools worldwide, and that opens the doors for you to make a semester abroad worldwide. And yeah, here you get an overview on the destinations. And all of these universities belong to the 5% of the best business schools worldwide, and they are all the top institutes in their countries. What is new in our program is that we can offer a double degree with the University of Ljubljana and the business school there. So we have seats, 5 seats per year that we can offer a double degree, which is taught in Pforzheim and also in Ljubljana. So we are very proud of our alumni. For example, Robin Hagenmüller, which now is head of corporate communication at a blue chip company, or Salome, which is internal communications manager at Novartis in Switzerland. Yeah, these successful alumni show also the benefits of studying this program and the usefulness of the content which is taught here. What we are very, very happy about is our strong roots in these, or our strong connections to practice with major companies, major agencies, which can be seen in our practical projects, but also in our excursion week, which is which is held every May. In the middle of May, we will visit Munich this year and visit companies like Microsoft, BMW, get in touch with the practice and discuss latest developments of artificial intelligence with the colleagues of Microsoft, for example. So of course, social life plays a big role in our study program, and very close community is evolving in these study programs and over the years and over the time in Pforzheim. Spending time together, spending free time together, partying together is part of social life and activities of our students, like a summer party, Christmas celebrations. And at the end of the study program, of course, the huge graduation ceremony where over 1,000 students of every year are graduated. And that's a huge celebration with all the successful other fresh alumni. So just to give you an overview, why to study corporate communication management at Pforzheim Business School. It has a comprehensive focus on corporate communication. It is one of, you study strategic management and corporate communication at a top-ranked business school. You get the global perspective, and our track record shows a high employability and a large network of companies in a highly innovative and strong economic region. Here you see also the map where Pforzheim exactly is located between Stuttgart and Karlsruhe. And on the left side, you see all these international companies like SAP, BASF, Porsche, and so on, which are just around the corner. Let's get to the admission process. You need a university degree, bachelor's degree, or diploma in business administration or communication science. These are the two directions where you can get into our program from. In the German grading system, final grade of 2.2 or better is needed. Also, the program is taught fully in English, so a B2 language level is also needed for the admission. The selection process will take place in 2 steps: a written application and an interview, to get a personal insights and to get to know you with your professional background, your study motivation, and analytical skills by discussing a case study. So that was to give you just an overview on our program, but feel free also to visit our website where you get much deeper insights to our program, and feel free also to write us an email, and we are very, very glad to answer, and even more. If you apply and are interested in our study program, in corporate communication management. And just to give you a taste of the region and how interesting the region where Pforzheim is located is, we prepared some slides at the end, which give you some made a bit of the taste of the region and what to do outside the classroom. Okay, so thank you very much, and we hope we will be very glad about your applications, and and thank you very much for your interest.
Thank you, Professor, from my side as well. And I'm eager to start this lively Q&A because I see so many questions and I want to answer as many as I can, or ask you to take over if you want. And also thank you very much for answering so many questions in written form as well. Now, the very first promise I gave to Jessen was to ask you about the age limit restriction for students. I've been doing webinars for a while now, and there was no case when I heard from a program representative about age restrictions. If it's different in your places, please tell us. But yeah, as I usually see from the guests, everybody
no age restrictions.
Yeah, so yes, and I guess it's the same answer from all speakers. Yeah, I see nodings. Then you are very welcome to apply. Now I have a question for master's programs, and you can start whoever wants to be the first, and then we follow like this. At least 2 people asked about additional costs if somebody has already done a master previously. Is it applicable for your study programs, or is it maybe Bundesländer specific thing? So I see Klaus says that at Darmstadt is no, right?
Yeah, it's
there are no additional costs. If you already did a master, then you can still do the second master. In Fulda?
It's the same in Fulda.
Yeah.
There are no extra costs.
And Professor Gräber, is it the same with you?
It's basically the same, but there's a fee in the state of Baden-Württemberg for non-EU students.
Yeah.
We have more information on our website on this. It's I think about 1,500 euros per semester for non-EU students.
Yeah. Great. Then for Professor Thielke, even though you answered this question in written form about the aptitude test and portfolio, I also saw another question that, yes, they see there are different things. One thing is portfolio, and another thing is aptitude test, or do you consider portfolio as an aptitude, to be an aptitude test? So could you please elaborate on that? And also thank you very much for providing this portfolio specific email that students can check or preview with you their portfolios.
Yes, so you have to do 2 things. So the portfolio assessment, which means 10 examples of your work, photography, illustration, whatever you would like to do, and applying via UniAssist. So these are the 2 so we have to do both. We have detailed information on our website, so it's a bit tricky to explain every step. I think it's easier to look at our website, and if it still have questions, then please write us an email. But you have to do both. That is important.
Yeah, and I think Katrin also advised you to contact directly a professor so that there are it's more clear for you how to proceed. Okay, then there is a question. Mr. Schuler, can I still do the internship even if I have already done one, I guess, in bachelor? Or I don't know, like how, what was?
So if the internship already counted for your bachelor's, you have to do another internship for your master's. The concept behind is that you, with the idea that you get from IMC, go into another internship, maybe come back and then apply your experiences from your internship for your master's thesis.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Then there was a question. I think it's for Ilka because of the time span. I'm guessing. I did my master's, 16 years of education in journalism, mass communication from the University of Peshawar, Pakistan, and I have also a radio internship, and I have 55% marks. So am I eligible for this program? Please do mention IELTS requirements or English proficiency is enough. Thank you.
Yes, I would say that you're eligible with your academic background. IELTS would be usually 6.5, but you also need German language skills. So most students, most candidates don't have difficulty to provide proof of their English language skills, but you need German language skills as well to apply for this program. And this would be at least B2 level or test of 3 in all sections.
Thank you. There was a program-specific question took for time, which I think Professor Kreber already, or Vanessa already answered, but I would like to mention it again. Professor Kreber, you mentioned advanced elective courses. Maybe I missed that moment, but what exactly can be chosen there? For instance, can courses teaching specific programming language be chosen? Many thanks.
Yeah, we do offer courses, for example, in artificial intelligence, in strategic management, in leadership. So different courses are here provided to shape your individual profile. That's the idea of these electives.
Thank you.
Maybe also, Vanessa, if I forgot something, also please. Fine.
Yeah, and also dear attendees, all the links are in chat. So if you want to again refresh or check it again, feel free to check it out. Professor Zielke, there is also one question because I'm asked about doing second master and somebody got angry with me, I guess. Is it also possible to do a second bachelor as a non-EU student? And in this case, I guess they would not need a Studienkolleg?
Yes, it's possible to do a second bachelor. And I don't know about study colleague. I don't know the requirements here. So questions like that, I could give you an email address for our experts. In this regard, wait a moment.
Yeah, so just to also adapt here, what I know is that usually if internationals, especially from non-EU countries, are applying for bachelors and you want to kind of avoid Studienkolleg, one of the ways is to complete at least 1 year of the related studies or the same field degrees in your home countries, and then you could already qualify because this 1 year gives you then a German eligibility entrance qualification or German university entrance qualification. But Professor already shared a very helpful link, which I will just copy because it's visible so far only for hosts. And then feel free to then contact to double check, or maybe there are university specific requirements. But thank you very much for mentioning that it's possible to do a second bachelor. Then there is a question for Klaus, which says, Dear Klaus, could you please say a little bit more about the AI component of the program? How heavily is it integrated there?
Okay, I think I kind of answered it during the presentation. So when I saw the question, it's trying out the artistic use. Is it useful for us as artists? Is it not useful? Of course, we are not coders, so we do not program an AI or something. We just try to implement it in our artistic work. Is it, for example, data that we gather, which is manipulating then a media art piece or whatsoever? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And maybe the last question for today to Ilka, which was also answered in written form about the internship and about the method. So is internship the only practical element of the program? And the second one, when you say methods, are those only qualitative ones?
Yes, the methods are qualitative methods in our program. And the internship is not the only practical experience. We assume that the field trips to Brussels and to Strasbourg, getting in touch with representatives from the European institutions, etc. That's also kind of a practical approach. But we also have seminars that focus more on on hands-on experience. And others are more research or theory oriented. So actually the program comprises both research orientation and practical experience as well.
All right, thank you. I said last question, but people are insisting to ask you, do you only have online applications or is there still paperwork needed to be done? Just maybe quick round of, I will name the your speakers and then you could say yes or no. So Klaus, is it only online or do you need papers?
I'd say it's online paperwork.
Online paperwork. You are already
so you need to scan many things and then upload it to UniAssist.
Yeah, so you do everything online. You don't need to send in this case, but you will send it to UniAssist profile then. Dear Professor Gschoeber, is it also fully online with you?
Yeah, it's a fully digital process at Pforzheim Business School.
Then Professor Zielke?
Completely online, completely, no hard copy.
And Ilka, I guess?
Online as well and through UniAssist for international degree holders, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you so much. Then just to mention, UniAssist, in case you don't know about it, feel free to join our webinars about UniAssist when for 1 hour we talk about how to proceed because these technical things take some time and we try to explain you those. And yeah, also in case you want to right now read what UniAssist is, we also have an article about it. Having said this, I thank everybody for, first of all, our guest for having time and to join and also present the programs to you, also answer so many questions. And dear attendees, the webinars would be nothing without your interest, engagement, and I hope applications to at least one of those study programs, but maybe you can also apply to many and then decide which one to go for.